coming up on BG24 Sports. Men's hockey took a series split with Ohio State. We have highlights from that one.
Plus, women's basketball opened up their season at home on Friday night.
And it's the I-75 rivalry this Wednesday. We have a full preview on the big one. All this and more coming up right here on BG24 Sports.
It's un-Falcon believable coverage that you won't get anywhere else. This is BG24 Sports.
Welcome to BG24 Sports. I'm Terry Lash.
And I'm Katie Warnke. Hockey took on Ohio State this weekend in a little intrastate rivalry. The guys coming out on Friday night, it was a record crowd at the Ice Arena. We'll take it to the first period where Brent Tate scores the goal to put the Falcons up 1-0. It stays that way until Tyler Spezia, a freshman for the Falcons, scores in his own goal. I wonder if that one will count against his total goals. Now here, Ohio State up again. That puts it at 2-1. The Falcons, though, come back with another score by Brent Tate. He had 2 goals on the game, but with 34 seconds left, Anthony Greco for OSU scores the game winner. The Falcons drop this one 3-2.
Yeah, big loss for the Falcons, but they did a great job rebounding the next night. Some stats from that game: 57 total shots for the Falcons compared to 52 for Ohio State. 1 goal on the power play and 33 penalty minutes. That was the big difference that the Falcons put up. Ohio State, of course, 48 total saves, no power play goals. Great power play defense from the Falcons, but only 18 penalty minutes. A huge difference in the game.
Absolutely. And now Tommy Burke is normally strong in the net for the Falcons. He had some trouble on Friday. One of those goals was not his fault, but let's take a look at these other 2. See that headroom right at the top of the net? That makes it easy for OSU to get right up in there. And then this last one by Greco with the game winner. We'll look at this one in slow motion. There, he pops it up right in the corner while Tommy Burke is actually on the ground, covered over by some Falcons and some OSU players there. Terry, this is not what we're used to seeing for this Falcons team. They started off very strong this year. They have dropped a few games. They've tied one. But what was it about Friday?
On Friday, I think they got a little complacent. They had a lead the whole game going into the 3rd period, and then an offensive firestorm for the Buckeyes came, and I don't think Bowling Green was prepared for that. It got them a little bit off guard. Like you said, a couple of key penalties in that game really hurt the Falcons, but once again, the next night they came on point.
Absolutely, and like we saw, you said those penalties, 25 penalty minutes on Friday for the Falcons. That really sort of sets the tone going into the game. Now, after the break, women's basketball hit the court at the Stroh Friday night. We'll go into the women's game when we come back.
The women's basketball team opened up their regular season at the Stroh on Friday night. The team was taking on the Bucknell Bison from the Patriot League, and the Falcons were looking for the 3rd straight opening victory of the season. Early in the game, it was Jasmine Matthews who got it ahead to Marion Justinger on the left-hand side. Justinger gets in the court, pump fakes, drives baseline, puts up the floater, but is well short. Falcons only shot under 30% for the game. Bucknell, on the other hand, just under 40% shooting from the field. But it was Abby Seifer with a deep 3 from the top of the key, keeping the Falcons alive, but a backdoor cut from Bucknell keeps them on top. Senior Deborah Hostra getting involved in the action now. She's strapping from the left corner, but it was not enough as the Falcons committed many costly turnovers, 14 total in the game, and the Falcons would go on to lose the season opener 53-52.
Now, if we go ahead and look into the leading scorers for the Falcons, Deborah Hoekstra had 17 points, Miriam Justinger with 12, and then it sort of trails off after that. You see Rachel Myers with just 2 points. Not a lot of scoring from a lot of different players on this team.
Yeah, well, it's a very young team. Rachel Myers, a freshman from Findlay, trying to get the feel of things with this new setup. Last year, the Falcons had Alexis Rogers to always go to. This year, not so much. They're still trying to find that identity early on in the season. If
you look at some of the stronger veteran athletes that they have on this team, really, I mean, Erica Donovan, Deborah Hoekstra, Miriam Justinger, and they only have 2 seniors and 1 junior on this team, so a lot of freshman and sophomore presence on this team. Should we worry about the women's basketball team or not yet?
I would say not yet. Tomorrow against Iona is a big preview, but I'm a little concerned about Erica Donovan not putting up any points from the field. Erica Donovan coming in, one of the best players on the team last season, expected to carry the team this year, puts up a goose egg. They're going to need a lot more out of Erica because she's a fine player and is going to be the go-to for the Falcons this year. Absolutely.
If we look at what is coming up next for the Falcons, they take on Iona on Tuesday, and then they head to Milwaukee. And Terry, this Iona game, we'll talk a little bit about this. Iona last season was 26-6. They're 1-1 this year. What do you think the Falcons can expect coming up later in their season?
Well, I think Iona, it was really good test for the Falcons last year. They lost that game, Iona did, to the Falcons 51-50 in the Iona tournament early on last year. Completely different Falcon team. They still have their starting point guard who scored 26 for the Gales last season against the Falcons. That's who the Falcons are going to have to limit.
I completely agree. It should be an interesting one. Hopefully the Falcons can kind of turn around their season, even though it's only the second game, right?
Very early still, of course. We got to be patient with this team, but we're in Bowling Green. We have high expectations for the women's basketball team.
Absolutely. Now, when we come back, it's all about football. BG Toledo, we've got your game preview right here. Stay with us. Welcome back. Terry, it's I-75 rivalry week here in BG. Bowling Green heading up to Toledo to take on the Rockets. They have not beaten UT in 4 years.
4 long years. 4 long years, Katie.
How long?
4 long years, Katie.
Yeah, a little long. The Rockets are hoping to stay alive in the MAC championship. They're tied with NIU in the West right now. The Falcons are coming off of that high against Kent State. But the Rockets sort of have a bitter taste left in their mouth from that loss against Northern Illinois. But before we get into it, let's see what some guys and Coach Babers on the team had to say about this game.
Certain things in life just aren't fair. And for you to be a senior on this football team and for you to go through 4 years and saying that you've never beaten your rival, that's not fair.
And it's Toledo week, so that's all my focus is on right now. Whatever I can do to beat Toledo. I haven't beaten them since I've been here, and that's my goal this week.
You know, like you said, it's been close all year, and I think that's helped us. You know, we never feel like we're out of a game. Whenever it's close, you know we can make plays, and so far most of the time we have, and it's worked out pretty well.
Now, Terry, the Falcons have sort of relied on this running game so far, but we're unsure of the status of Fred Coppett, Travis Green. But they do have Andre Givens. He's sort of come up out of the woodwork this year. If we look at some of his past games, the last one against Kent State and then Western Michigan, Andre Givens was really strong here. If you see this, pauses right on your screen, there's an opening for Andre Givens to run through. He uses his size and speed to just sneak right past there. And again, against Kent State last week, he slides right up the middle for a touchdown. Bowling Green they really have a strong player in Andre Givens.
And Givens, he's a junior. He's been waiting his time. He sat behind Anton Salmon. He sat behind Travis Green. He got replaced by the freshman Fred Coppett. Now is his time to shine, and he did great with those 38 carries. I expect some more carries out of Givens on Wednesday night in the Glass Bowl. But you have to move to the other side of the ball and the rushing defense for the Falcons. They've had some struggles this year, especially against Western Michigan. Jarvion Franklin absolutely tore up the Falcons defense in that game. The leading rusher in the MAC, Jarvion Franklin, you can see him right here, has a huge hole on the right side, and he's going to bounce it out. Bowling Green not able to contact him until he's at least 10 yards down the field. Even more from Franklin in that game. This time right up the gut, and this is important because Kareem Hunt of the Rockets is going to be getting the ball over and over and over again, Katie. And that's something that the Bowling Green defensive line, the Taylor Roysters, Gus Schwedermans, Charlie Walkers on that D-line are going to have to stop.
They definitely are. Keeping it with the defense, though, they've been strong so far. They've had 13 fumbles so far this year, 11 interceptions. If we look at some of their past games, going against Kent State, Ryland Ward had an interception. You can see it right here, right in the backfield open. He catches that ball and runs it back. But one thing the Falcons need to worry about is interceptions on their end. We see James Kanapke. He has 12 touchdowns but 10 interceptions. Bowling Green needs to make sure that they can limit those interceptions and limit those fumbles, especially going into double coverage and just the overall Toledo defense.
You're right, and turnovers are huge in this game, Katie. It is going to be snowing. It's going to be cold. It's going to be a field position battle in a rivalry game that is always close. The team that commits the most turnovers will probably not get out of the glass bowl with a victory, so the Falcons have to hold on to the ball.
I think that's safe to say. I think, yeah, turnovers will be costly in this game. If we look at the stats for this game, Bowling Green has an average of 280 passing yards, 175 rushing, but Toledo, so strong on that average rushing yards, 247.
And that's a lot of it has to do with Kareem Hunt, someone they're going to get the ball to over and over again, and Toledo down to their fourth-string quarterback, who just happens to be a wide receiver. So you know they're not going to be throwing the ball much in those weather conditions, in the snow, in the cold. Kareem Hunt is going to be the rocket that gets the ball over and over again. Falcons, big key right there.
Absolutely, and Bowling Green with the sort of the limit on the running game, they're going to have to look to that passing game. So it should be very interesting. I think the two teams will go in there with very different style offenses on Wednesday. Now remember, that game is Wednesday night at the Glass Bowl at 8 p.m. You can also catch it on ESPN2 as well. Now after the break, it's this week's BG24 Sports Inside Look at 3 Falcon athletes. Stay with us.
Senior Kelsey Bates. Kelsey, we know what you're like on the court. Let's get to know you off of the court. First question, what is your all-time favorite superhero?
I'm gonna have to go with I'm gonna say Superman. Don't tell Coach. Well, Coach, we can call it Superwoman for Coach.
Why? Coach doesn't like Superman?
She likes adding woman to a lot of different things, so we'll just add, I'll say Superwoman.
Feminist Coach Tomich, I had no idea. If you could have one superpower, what would it be?
Ooh, I think it would be to be able to like teleport myself anywhere in the world. So whatever I was feeling that day, if I wanted to go to Spain or go to the Bahamas, just be able to transport anywhere I wanted. I think that'd be pretty cool. I like to travel.
If you could be one animal to describe yourself as, what is it?
We were actually doing this the other day with the team. People say I look like a bird, but I don't really think I act like a bird, so I think a dolphin.
Why a dolphin?
I'm not sure. They're kind of just calm and they kind of go with the flow. That's kind of how I am, so.
And we're moving on to your favorite cereal.
It would have to be Special K, the original, but I add a lot of stuff to it. So I put bananas and almonds, and I also use and eat peanut butter with my cereal. So
that's interesting. Old cereal?
Just all cereal, yep.
Wow, I'm not going to try that. That sounds terrible to me. Describe your ideal date.
I'm always a fan of the amusement parks or anything active, so Cedar Point or anything like that, those would be my favorite dates.
One country you like to go to?
I'd probably say Croatia too. I really want to visit Jelena, but other than that, I think Italy.
Why Italy?
Well, my grandparents are from Italy and I've always wanted to go. My whole family's gone besides my younger sister, so I'm hoping I'm next, but...
All right, so there you have it. That is Madeline Garda, the libero for BGSU Volleyball. When we come back, we'll have more, so come back right with us.
Welcome to Around the Studio. How this works, I pick a topic. There will be 60 seconds on the clock. Normally a reporter joins us, but this week it's a battle of the anchors. Terry and I going at it. The best answer gets the points decided by the studio crew. And at the end, we'll see who the best anchor is. Now, Terry, men's soccer dropped a championship game to Akron yesterday. What was the team's downfall?
Now, I think that's an unfair question, Katie. I don't think it has to do with the Falcons soccer team. They did great in the tournament. They had a magnificent run. They just played a better team. The Akron Zips.
No, but if you lose, Terry, then you drop the game. There's no, but you know, they went to the championship. They still lost in the championship, so there is a downfall.
That's not the problem. They were going to lose regardless. It wasn't that they could not compete in the game. It's that Akron was a better team. The Falcons are going into that contest already lost to Akron. This is the third straight year in the postseason they've lost to Akron. That was going to happen regardless. It wasn't the Falcons' downfall. It was the Akron's uprising.
No, Terry, you're wrong.
Yes,
you are just wrong. because, yeah, Akron may win, but for Bowling Green to lose to Akron, a better team, there is a downfall in Bowling Green to make them not the better team.
And they're just always not as good as Akron. It's just how it is.
Okay. Well, it looks like you get that point from the studio crew. I disagree. But moving on, men's basketball debuted over the weekend with a win against Drake. Was it a good start for men's basketball, or is it too early to tell?
I think it's a little too early to tell, Katie. Yes, good win, but this is a long, long, long season. I don't even know if this is the starting lineup we're going to see in a few weeks from now, not let alone in February, March area. Javon Clark coming off of the bench, a guy that was second-team All-MAC this year. Are you really think that's what we're going to see throughout the season?
You never know. We might see it under new coaching, new transfer students. Bowling Green to come out and win that strong over Drake is a great start to the season. If we look at last season, they were 12-20. They won their first game, but they lost the 4 out of 5 of their next games. It's a great start for Bowling Green.
But Drake is the stepping mat of the Missouri Valley Conference. This is not a team that are going to go, oh, Drake, what a great victory. Champagne for everyone. No, it's just a normal victory that should be expected.
A win is a win, and for Bowling Green to come up with this victory is great to start the season. It's a good momentum starter. Looks like studio agrees with me on that one, Terry. I get that point. Is Tommy Burke the best goalie in the WCHA? Moving to some hockey now.
I don't believe so. Tommy Burke, fantastic goalie, not the best in the WCHA. I'm going to give that honor to Northern Michigan's Matthias Dahlstrom, who also, by the way, has the best name in the WCHA. Matthias has been outstanding in the net this season, the only goalkeeper in the entire conference to allow less than 1 goal per contest. He has been absolutely lights out. He hasn't been getting the help that some of these older goalies got, but he himself in the net has been fabulous.
I disagree. Tommy Burke, best goalie. The stats may not say it, but how can you go against your own goalie, Terry Lash? How can you go against Bowling Green's goalie? He is a definitely strong goalie in the back of the net, only a sophomore as well. With Chris Snell and Thomas Scholl, the Falcons' defense is something to be reckoned with, and that all starts with Tommy Burke.
But I'm analyzing from a fair perspective, Katie. You have to give it to who's been the best, and it just hasn't been Burke so far.
I don't think so, Terry. I don't know what the studio is deciding. Oh, looks like I get that
Blasphemy.
point. Tommy Burke all the way. Now, moving on to our next topic. This one, I-75 rivalry winner. Who gets it, BG or UT?
You gotta go with the Falcons. Switching it up on you right here, Katie. Bowling Green with the momentum riding into this game, getting into the MAC championship game already. The pressure is off for Bowling Green. This is a huge game for the Falcons. 4 straight years Bowling Green has lost to Toledo. You know that's going to leave a bad taste in their mouths in this contest. They are down, they are injured, but so is Toledo. Going to their 4th-string quarterback, who is a wide receiver, doesn't even play the position. I gotta like the Falcons' chances on the road in the Glass Bowl in the snow.
Nope, no way. Bowling Green, you say they have a bad taste in their mouth. Look at Toledo. They lost to Northern Illinois. They're still trying to get into the MAC championship game. Toledo is going to take this one. You said Kareem Hunt. Yeah, Kareem Hunt, 247 average rushing yards. That all starts with Kareem Hunt. Toledo definitely takes this one against Bowling Green.
Falcons will shut him down.
Oh, you think so?
Absolutely,
I don't think so.
Katie.
I don't think so. It looks like we have a tie here, Terry. I don't know. I guess they can't decide which anchor is best. Who's the winner?
I don't know. I guess we're playing soccer in this one. I'm not a big fan of ties. Maybe we just went to extras in hockey. No goals in the final 5 minutes. I guess it's still to be determined.
Man, maybe later on we'll find out. But I guess right now, I guess I can split a tie with you, Terry.
We can thumb wrestle about it.
Now, when we come back, we'll have a recap of weekend scores and a look at our games of the week. Stay with us. Welcome back. We have your recap of the weekend scores. Men's soccer ended up winning the first game of the MAC championship tournament, but lost to Akron on Sunday 1-2. Women's basketball also opened up the season with a loss, 52-53.
And some cross-country results. The men's team finished 26 out of 30 runners, and the women's team finished 13th out of 32.
And volleyball lost both matches to end their season, while hockey earned a split and men's basketball ended up winning against Drake. Now, Terry, instead of a game of the week, we're going to do our picks of the week. What games Falcon fans should go out to. So what's your pick?
All right, Katie, mine's going to be a hard sell. I know it's going to be cold. I know it's going to be snowy, but go to the Glass Bowl tomorrow. Support the Falcon football team. It's a rivalry week. We have to beat the team up north. You got to go to Toledo tomorrow, or Wednesday night, excuse me.
I will definitely be at Toledo. I hope you're at Toledo. And then men's basketball, that's my pick for sure. Men's basketball all the way. They're coming off of that win against Drake. They're finally back at the Stro, debuting at the Stro. How can you not go to men's basketball? It's inside, it'll be warm, not snowy or anything.
Yeah, it's a great game. Everyone should come out.
Absolutely. Hope you guys, you should just go to every game though, every Bowling Green game. Now that is all for BG24 Sports today. Follow us on Twitter for Falcon scores and news.
And check out Facebook for videos from today's show. I'm Terry Lash.
And I'm Katie Warnke. Have a great night.